Good evening, Thrashcast. This is Innocence Torn, and this is Skid Row.
Fancy Kennedy, I'm here, you're there, keep it that way. Look at my lips are red. Are my lips red? I guess you guys can't see it. There must be some kind of filter. I promise I'm not wearing lipstick. Fancy flippin' Kennedy, I'm here, you're there. And this time, keep it that way because it's that kind of party. Welcome to Garage Bays Revisited with Innocence Torn. And I love the spelling.
Thank you.
I love the spelling. Innocence Torn. I want to say out of Portland.
Actually, we're out of Vancouver, Washington, but yeah.
Oh, nice.
We're not,
Right next to there.
Yeah.
Fucking A. So let me introduce me to everyone. I know that this the gal with the pink hair is the singer. Is that right? What color is your hair right now?
I actually don't really know because it was supposed to be temporary and apparently they lied. So I've been stuck with red hair for like about a month now and I decided to just kind of run with it because it's not going away. But anyway, I'm Bonnie Freeman and I'm the lead vocal for Innocence Torn.
You're supposed to introduce everybody.
This is Rhonda. She is our other vocalist. She is my side partner, ride or die, vocalist in the band. This is James Freeman, my husband, as well as our guitarist. That is Ken Hensley. He is the drummer, which I really kind of can connect the most with because we both absolutely love Slipknot.
The kid.
Mitch the Kid McCowan. He is the newest member, but the most quickest learning guy we've ever known in our life.
Only 20 years old. He's our baby. That's what we call him, the kid.
This is Wally Hartzell. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes.
Yes, I did. Yes. And he is our bass master.
Hey, nice to meet you. And creeper.
So, oh my God, dude. What is that on your head?
Oh, yeah.
I know!
Fucking sick! Sick! But here, back up for a second, though, because we forgot to say what kid the instrument plays. What instrument the kid plays.
Guitarist.
Right. So, your husband plays lead.
Yep.
The kid plays rhythm. The dude over here plays bass.
Yeah.
Right? And your girlfriend is your backup singer. I love it. I love it. Innocence Torn.
Hell yeah.
So sickening. So here, let me pull up my questions. Here's the thing is, you said your name's Bonnie?
Yes.
Let's focus on you for a second. How did you get started singing, and what scene did you grow up in, and what were your first bands or whatever?
Okay, that's a lot. Let's see. I started out listening to metal, from elementary school. Getting out of elementary school, Motley Crue came out. And later on in life, I decided I was going to go the other way, and I started with Wild Child magazine. So I got out there, got to interview some good bands, really got to kind of know the industry and the market. And so, I was in Anchorage, Alaska, and I went and sang a karaoke song, and they fired their DJ that night and hired me for 3.5 years. I didn't even know I could sing. It was kind of a drunken joke. And next thing I know, I found out I can sing. So, my first concert was Iron Maiden and Vinnie Vincent Invasion, which was 1986. And there was just something about that entire genre that I really loved very much. It's so underrated and it brings about so much emotion to people that I kind of wanted to bring it back. And so when I got with my husband, he heard me sing, and then that was kind of it. He was like, that's it. We're putting you in a band. So that's why I'm here.
Great stuff. I'm from Alaska. I love fucking Vinnie Vincent, dude. I just love I love his fucking guitar playing. And that album that he did with Slaughter was just fucking dope as fuck, dude.
Yeah, but you gotta love their promoter. He saw something and he nailed it. Like he absolutely nailed it with that show. It was 2 different genres or 2 different ways of thinking in music, and yet
Right.
it went well. It was an amazing show.
And then so let's talk about your old man's growing up guitar playing.
It's pretty extensive. Actually, my mom was a professional classical musician. So from the time I was age 3, she was throwing acoustic guitars in my hand and teaching me Tom Dooley and classical piano. And I got into I was totally into classical music until like age 12. I was a complete musical geek, straight A student, learning Beethoven and Bach and all that, playing trumpet and trombone and jazz bands, and just kind of well-rounded musically. And what changed me, for my little brother, I bought him a Motley Crue Shout the Devil tape. And I thought, fuck it, I'll listen to it. I popped it in, fell in love with it. I mean, I was just complete metalhead right from the instant I heard, the beginning of the intro going into Shout at the Devil. And then I listened all the way through. And the next thing I knew, I'd already been playing guitar, but just totally different stuff. And that's all I could do. It's like I needed distortion, I needed a bigger amp, it just went on and on and on. And I just started creating bands. Neighbors would get together, and we'd when I was super little, well, I went through a phase even before that where we dress up like Kiss, play the little record on hay bales, and we take Christmas tree lights, go to Goodwill, get like spandex and girl boots, and take light bulbs and put on things for the neighborhood. We take the bulbs and break them on stage like it was explosions. And that's probably where it started, And then it just escalated once I got into the Motley Crue. And then doing bands, and just have never stopped. I probably won't until I drop dead. It's just something I love. So.
Well, and it's just such a great thing, too, that Nikki Sixx went to Roosevelt High School. Right. Is actually from Seattle, and he played in this band called the Telepaths with everybody, like from guys from the Mentors to people from Q's and everyone else, and he stole the Les Paul back then, and right. And so then they moved to LA, and Seattle went grunge, and Nikki stuck with glam. And it's just a huge part of it because Duff McKagan also is from Seattle because he was in the Farts with the singer from the Accused back in the day. You know what I mean? So it's always funny how things turn out.
Isn't it? It's crazy. It's crazy. Well, and growing up, I grew up in Whidbey Island, which is, I don't know if you know the area, but
oh yeah,
down on islands. It's Seattle. That's where I'd hang out and get in trouble as a teenager. So same thing. I was doing bands all through the Seattle area and Everett and, whatever we could get on the San Juans. We called the island the Rock, though. I mean, it was super cool until you're a teenager, and all you could do is think about how to get off, and hang out in the cities, and do all the fun things, and
wow, that's so amazing. Yeah, there's all these bands that are like the whole Q's and Mother Love Bone, and all those bands are from Bainbridge Island. You know what I mean? And then then they all came into Everett, and the Everett metal tradition is just.
Jeff Pilson from Dawkins, he grew up in Vancouver, Washington. There's a huge amount of metalheads from the 80s and still current from this area.
Oh, well, yeah, because the guy, you mean the bass player from Dawkins? Yeah, he wrote Alone Again. That's Randy Hansen's bass player, but he went, you know what I mean? That's actually Randy's bass player, but he does other stuff too.
Right. That's
so
awesome.
Yeah, so you've been playing guitar for a while. You've been up and down through here, through it.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of different bands. Shatterbrains, we were pretty big here I've been playing them the last 15 years, and it just kind of went dormant once, me and Bonnie got together, because there's some history behind that. I was actually her first love 33 years ago. She met me playing in a band called Crystal with this bass player and my brother on drums and stuff. And she saw me with this bleach blonde hair and all this and that and just fell head over heels for me. And that's where it started. And then years later, they go by. I'm doing my thing and she's doing hers, lose contact. Her name changes. So I run into her show. She's doing this promoting, has this magazine. I'm thinking, God, she's hot. I have no idea it's her because the name doesn't match or anything. And I was married too. And I remember just thinking, damn it, I'm married, but still the attraction was there. That happened like 2 or 3 times. And she was writing a thing about my band. And then once my relationship crashed, basically, we got to talking on Messenger on Facebook. For like 2 days, and out of the blue, I'm sitting here drinking. I've been single. Life's a little challenging. I got a kid by myself. And she goes, I am. I'm the girl's heart you broke. 33.
Nice, yeah. So you got set up the second time. I love it. I love it. Yeah, that's what the show is about. That is what the show is about. The guy that I just interviewed, and he's put out a cover metal album just to do his vocal talent. He just got over a divorce. You know what I mean? And that's the thing I told him, put words to that album. Write your own album, dude. That sells. Divorce sells. Right. And then so poignant with now because your band is like a family now.
Oh, it's a total family. Totally.
And that's rare for us old timers to have a family band because now it's like everybody's got a family. We're just happy to have members, what I mean?
It's a total dream. It's just crazy. It's just it was meant to be. There's a lot of things that just happen because they're meant to happen. And if you look at both Bonnie and our history, and the good and the bad, it's really kind of created what we've got going now, and it's snowballing. But it's because it's kind of an entire life of what's created this band and the music and the sound, and people get it. I mean, we're playing with complete death thrash metal bands. They get us. We get them, and we're playing with poppy. We kind of fit everywhere, which is so rare because out of all the years playing, you're always kind of pigeonholed into one genre, which I've always
right. That goes right into my next question. Get Bonnie back up here and let's talk about this band. How this, what is the band about? How did you guys? He's just telling me that you guys are together now. You got this killer band, but what's the premise? And do you guys have a full length out? And the story behind the band.
Well, the story behind the band really originated with the two of us. We wanted to do something that kind of sparked the emotion of people from not just our generation, but also kind of add a little bit of blues. I don't know. It's funny.
We got some really, really heavy shit. So we've even though we've got the rendition of The Price, we have a song called War that's just in your face thrash where she's screaming because she's got this freaking voice that's unbelievable because she can be sweet and then the next thing you know she's growling like she's from
fuck yeah
or something, and you're so we're trying to incorporate all of that and you're saying we're working on our first album, Broken Dolls. We have an EP that we're putting out.
Broken Dolls.
Yeah. But we're doing a self-titled EP that will have like 4 or 5 songs that we'll have that out by the end of the month. So we're actually going in the studio tomorrow for another 4 hours.
Yeah, tomorrow morning. Yes.
Yay.
Right. I want some footage of that, man. You guys, your footage is content, man. It's going to be beautiful. I love it. Cool, it's going to work both ways, So, yeah. And so then you've got in the EP in the works. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Yeah, we go in tomorrow to finish out the last half of it, and it's in itself been a process. But I think at the end of the day, it's gonna it'll just remind people of what not just old school rock, but old school metal, kind of mixed with some new school ideas, a little kind of politics, kind of just the stuff that's kind of relevant. And it's really funny because I'm finding the 20-somethings right now are so into metal and Motley Crue, and they are huge in the Skid Row, all these old school bands. So
well, that's how I met Mitch. He was playing Motley Crue, Home Sweet Home, and I'm like, what the? Are you fucking kidding me? I was so happy.
Yeah, it pisses me off because unless you were a recorded artist, you can't really say that you're a classic rock musician because they're in a little club there, You know what I mean? But I'm going to write what I write, and I'm not waiting for a new label to come along with some dudes in flannel to market the fucking thing for me. You know what I mean? So it's like glam, classic rock, and everything in between is just. But if you ever have any doubt about the power of it, look at the tribute band circuit. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, there's some people, young and old, and 3 generations want to hear that music played live. And say what you want about cover bands, but you know it's hard to go see like Def Leppard, and their fans are so old. You're gonna have to put tables with white cloth down in the auditorium, you know. So it's like, you know. But what I was really gonna say about you guys and what's happening with all of us is Saturn's second return. Right? It takes Saturn 27, 28 years to go around over our heads in one time. And when it comes around the first time, if you don't jump on it to go be a rock star, it's going to be 28 years before it comes back for you. And that's okay. You might raise kids or something, but you know what, whatever your big journey is, you know, every 7 years you get a chance to get rid of something you should have gotten rid of 7 years ago, and then every 28 years ago you go by, your music comes back around, and it's just hopeful that you got the liver left to, you know what I mean, take another swing at it. You know, it's like it's so funny because so many of these bands now they're in rare form, you know, right? Yeah.
There's no moderation there.
Oh yeah, you guys are alcohol fueled.
Really good music. There's good music now, and there was good music then. And I just wanted people to be reminded of what it was like to just kick back, put your earphones on, and just kind of like lose your mind in a song. And a few of the songs that we recorded, like, you can hear them in my voice. You know, there's originality there. I listened to everything that they did and tried to emulate that. I mean, to a point to where we even bought the rights to be able to record them and you know, put them back out there in distribution again. And I think those are really important because they're like classics that you just never hear. Maybe B-side tracks that we all loved but never really got the limelight. So I think our EP is going to be kind of old school fun with some new school metal. I think it's going to be kind of cool.
Well, and that's so important. I love what you said about buying the tracks. I mean, people are so weird about covers, and when you do, musicians are, and they don't. Most musicians live inside of their own mind. None of them have even read a paragraph of copyright information. You know what I mean? It's $15, $50 or whatever, $30. That song's yours, dude. You know what I mean? You can get a license for that song and roll your career out on that song.
Not only have we done
And I mean, you can even write derivative songs if you credit the inspiration.
In the next week or so, we're going to have the licensing so that if I want to do a video in memoriam to the original song, say Twisted Sister, The Price, and my letter of intent has already been sent along with the track. And so not only here pretty soon am I whitelisted to be able to do the distribution, the recording,
right?
Spotify, if I want to, all of those things, there is also this legal language that needs to be understood between the production company, the distribution company, as well as the original artist, to make sure that they, what I'm saying, there's a bunch of legal language, and
right.
luckily enough, I'm well studied in all of those things, so I've navigated.
$250 later, that's just the one cover.
The one cover.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, if you just throw money at shit, it'll solve a lot of things in life. Like I sat and incorporated my house into a 501c3 nonprofit. Everyone's like, "Oh, you got to do this," and I was like, "Oh, really? Here, bing, take that." Secretary of State loves to take your money.
Right. We are officially in the state of Washington. We're Innocence Torn.
We're legal, so we don't have to worry about that secret little lawsuit.
Right.
We actually got our certificate the other day. Here, I'll show you, man. We got this.
Well, and it's just so important. You can get a business loan later based on it.
Yeah. So
awesome.
It is a business.
Awesome. Oh, and the other thing I was gonna say is, I forget the name of the company, but there's a company that keeps a collection of songs that are already pre-approved for you to cover on YouTube,
Like
right? Right, and so because there's extra considerations with covering a song on YouTube. So if you make sure ahead of time that you only choose songs from that list, then you don't run into that issue. And it's been a year or two since I did that research, but so the rules may have changed.
Well, that's actually
Because I have a last year, and it skipped a year because of the pandemic. So it was actually 2 years ago. I had a Jimi Hendrix tribute act.
Oh, cool.
A small one, but I have one. You know what I mean? And so I looked into, and I've been playing his songs on the sidewalk for years, but if I'm going to roll into a club or whatever, or put up my videos or whatever, then I wanted to research maybe buying the rights to his songs. Of course, in his case, it's a little more technical, but not much. I mean, nobody can stop you from recording their song. It just can't be done.
No.
So I'm gonna let you guys talk for a little while, but you meet some of the other band. I'll be back.
All right, yeah.
Who do we want to bring in next?
Yeah, come on in with the drummer.
Let's get to drummer. I guess drummer next.
Yeah, might as well.
Get the drummer and the bass. You guys can get over here. I'll get out of the way. Let you guys get some history on you guys and so forth.
Fucking A. So with the drummer, now where are you from?
I'm originally from Virginia, and by way of Delaware, then New Jersey, and now finally out here in Oregon. Cheers, mate.
Sick, you too. Yeah, I just interviewed a guy named Sean Myers, who's a drummer from New Jersey, and it's Chop Shop 2. I just was cutting it. So this is real cool now. So what, were you in a music scene back there growing up?
A bit, like in high school, I was in a punk band called Malicious Attack, and we played out in Roanoke a few times. Then, life happens. We go separate ways and start jamming with a bunch of other guys here and there. Played a bunch of different shows, a bunch of different bands nobody's ever heard of. We never got anywhere with recording shit. But, took a little bit of a hiatus. I ended up out here, and I catch up with these guys. And now we're getting ready to record some more shit tomorrow. I can't wait. I love getting into the studio. It's been
Dang.
well.
Can you split your tattoos with him? Can you split your tattoos with him?
Yeah, sure.
Split them.
Yeah, man.
You need a little bit of white space, and he's got too much.
There is no too much in rock and roll.
But okay, let me get your names again. Now, the bass player, the drummer.
I'm Ken. This is
Ken.
Walter.
Walter.
Yeah. Hey,
And now, what scene are you from, Walter?
I graduated high school in '83, so it was Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, the original kind of metal. And my friends kind of stayed in that genre, and I went over to the hardcore and kind of got into Dr. No, 7 Seconds, more of the punk stuff. I went in the Navy in 1984 and moved down to San Diego. So I was exposed to some new music down there that I wasn't privy to up here in Washington State,
Right.
Pre-internet, of course. My first bands were punk. I've started out on bass and I picked up a little bit of guitar, but I've mostly been bass since the mid '80s. And I never had much success with original music. I've always just done well with covers. Most of my bands were cover bands and tribute bands, and I've always wanted to do originals. It just never unfolded for me that way.
Until now.
Until now, we got some original material that James has had in his back pocket for a while, and we're bringing it to life.
Yeah, I got into metal pretty fast after punk rock, and hearing then like double bass drumming on some Adolescence albums, and just deciding that's the way to go. And then that turned into speed metal, and then thrash metal, and death metal, and then every other aspect of playing that sort of thing has been like a prime requisite for a long time.
Yeah, that's so true.
He was my early favorite.
Who was?
Charlie Benante, drummer for Anthrax.
Oh yeah,
It was
yeah.
between him, Dave Lombardo, and whoever was playing Testament, their first albums.
Right.
But yeah, those guys were awesome, and just sort of been following dudes all throughout. And they're like all over now. There's guys on YouTube that are playing thousands of times faster than anything I'd ever heard of. And I'm not sure what they put in the water these days, but it's working because these guys have blast beats for days, and they look like they're thinking about what they're going to cook for dinner in the midst of like 220 beat per minute blast beats. Awesome sauce. I mean, at least people are carrying the torch.
So you remember when concerts were huge? I mean, the Tacoma Dome and that size of place. I saw Ozzy Osbourne in Seattle at the Space Needle. That was my first concert. So then when I get down to Southern California and you can be out front shooting the shit with someone and go inside and then he's in the band, that really spoke to me right there. Like,
Right.
these guys are on stage right now, but I can talk to them after the show and they'll be interested in what I have to say. Like, they're not untouchable rock stars way up here. They're just guys like me. And that was really inspiring to get my hands on the bass and pursue it. When I realized normal people were doing this thing, you know?
Well, and then what about now? Like many of the bands that we grew up worshiping are back playing the bar circuit now, and also touring their first album again because nobody gives a fuck about anything that they did for the last 20 years, right? And so now we get to go out and fucking play with these guys. It's, you know what I mean? It's like, it's great, dude. I've had MDC and The Accused play in my fucking house, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just always, you know, and so, but then you guys must have had a rough little pandemic, and what's going to happen now? Are you guys going to play some gigs or what?
We're kind of poised to take off. Like, now this stuff's starting to open up. We're hot and ready.
We've got a whole bunch of festivals.
Like six
Right, we got
shows coming up.
Rivera Fest in Myrtle Creek, July 15th. We got the big one.
It's coming up July 31st.
June 26th, we're back at the East Side Bar with Chainbound.
In Chronic Illness.
Right.
And then shortly after that, we are taking off for Medford, Oregon.
Yep.
In
With Pitch Black
with
Mass.
Pitch Black Mass and another band, and I'm sorry. That one right now. And then we just got offered to come up to Tacoma on October 2nd.
Yeah,
I think so.
What's it called?
Fuck yeah. Yeah, when you guys come up to Tacoma, we will cross paths because that's where I am at. You
Yeah,
know,
we're supposed to be up there August 2nd for a huge like Halloween bash.
October 2nd.
October 2nd.
But I want to kind of give a little shout out to both of them and our other singer and let them come
Yeah, I
up
can
and
bring those two over. Okay.
Yeah, we're planning to hit Tacoma and Seattle really hard, and then the following year we're gonna hit the LA scene and do like the whiskey and everything else, just because you have to.
Right. Yeah, it's obligatory. Take this into the whiskey. You'll be old enough to drink by the time they get there. Right. So what are your names again? The bass,
I play rhythm guitar.
rhythm guitar.
And I'm Rhonda. I'm a vocalist, but not the lead vocalist.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So Mitch, now let's start with you. You're pretty young, but are you what scene where did you learn to play guitar at? And what were your influences?
So my brother brought home a PlayStation 2 one day when I was about 5, and we started playing Guitar Hero 2.
I knew it.
A lot of those songs on there like built into the kind of music I listen to today. So like they had Boston, More Than a Feeling on there.
Yeah.
Leonard Skinner. And then my favorite personally was Cowboys from Hell by Pantera was on there. And just a lot of old classics that I learned to know just by heart, just by playing that song.
Note for note, it's freaking retarded.
It is
Yeah.
retarded.
No cheating, like we all do on certain solos. No, he plays them actually like the player, and you're like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good. It's really cool to see.
Yeah, but eventually Guitar Hero got too simple for me, and I begged my dad to learn how to play guitar, but he didn't know how to play. So he just bought me one for my 7th birthday, And from there, I kind of just was self-taught. I kind of just watched a bunch of YouTube videos, learning how to play individual songs and learning extra stuff. And that's about it. That's how I got into it. And I've just been playing on and off ever since.
That's insane, dude. That's so cool. So you're living proof that Guitar Hero isn't fucking ruining today's youth by making them not be able to fucking play a real instrument.
Yeah, I mean,
because you jumped right off.
And that's how I got the finger movement too, was playing Guitar Hero.
The weird thing is,
You should see me trying to play Guitar Hero, dude. It's pathetic. Children take the thing away from me. They're just like, stop. You suck at this. I just can't get it. I've been playing guitar too long. It's just too weird.
Yeah, even today I'll go to Big Al's and I'll just try and set the high score real quick. And, you know, and then leave. That's the only game I want to play when I'm there, so.
And then what's your name again, hun?
Rhonda.
So Rhonda, would you do like in the background?
I do a lot more than
So you're not like Christy McVie to her Stevie Nicks or anything, are you?
well, that's not a bad analogy. On some songs, maybe.
Some songs, yeah, maybe.
All right, but you strengthen it up.
Yeah.
Because I do vocals also, so.
Well, it's a really good thing I'm hearing here and I can't wait because here's what happens is, like in the band that I was in, we had a chick singer, but the rest of us were dudes. So it just always kind of sounded funny. The background vocal, it was cool, but it was kind of funny. The background vocals were dudes. You know what I mean? So she would sing something and a bunch of dudes would go, oh, and repeat her. And it was just like, really? So it's cool that you guys, you know what I mean? Of course, she probably sings like a dude. She's probably like, whoa! But you guys have a classic rock flavor too, you know. Look, I haven't really done my homework. You guys could sound like Cinderella or Cannibal Corpse. I don't know. You know, I take on everybody. But I get that you guys have a classic rock flavor or a glam rock flavor. What's the right word? But a metal.
Yeah.
Right? A metal.
Yeah, we're kind of
Not a thrash, but a metal flavor. Yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah. Is there anybody else you need to talk to?
No, I think that.
No, so tell me about, like, what are the cover songs that you guys play in the band that are fun?
I think my personal favorite that we play is Lack of Communication by Rat.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, that's a fun song.
What about Slave to the Grind?
Slave to the Grind by Skid Row is a good one too.
Sick.
Yeah.
Twisted Sister.
The Price is pretty good. It's a little slower, a little
You
more
can hear that on
melodic.
our website. It's really good.
But that one's pretty fun
You
as
can
well.
actually hear that one on our website
Yeah,
right now.
and you can hear that on our website.
Fucking A, dude. Yeah, I love all those. You know what I mean?
White
the-
Silver Night.
The first Twisted Sister, not Stay Hungry, but the one before that.
From Captain Howdy.
Fucking dope ass album, you know?
Yeah, I was introduced to Twisted Sister from I Wanna Rock.
Right.
Like that was always the one song that I knew by them. And then
You can't stop rock and roll.
yeah, and the more I got into music, the more I learned more Twisted Sister. So
Yeah, well, his voice is just incredible, you know?
yeah,
And
there's
the
nothing like it.
setup on him. They had a thing about their music where it was like written almost like they had almost theatrical chord progressions, almost like a Meatloaf. Like Meatloaf, his songs had sections, and they are like Billy Joel. You know what I mean? It's almost like you couldn't just sing a blues lick over it and throw some chords down there. You know, the songs were actually written, and that is what's cool about Twisted Sister. They had changes in their shit. You know what I mean? It was like rock and roll. They had elements of advanced rock and roll in there.
Yeah, and they would play. Both the guitar players would play different octaves to try and make something unique, and instead of both of them just playing the same thing.
Which is
over.
kind of what we're.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the aim we're going for, is we're trying to have two different guitarists doing different things with the sound together.
Oh, I saw that, like what you guys were doing when I came on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like with me, dude, I loved Rat. Trust me, I learned, like I bought the Rat vinyl. You know what that is?
Yeah.
You know what vinyl is?
Yeah.
Do you know it's got music on both sides?
Yeah, I know. I'm not that young.
Yeah, well, see, you're an old soul, so you got educated, right? But like, I've literally dated chicks that didn't know that fucking vinyl had music on the bottom of it.
Yeah.
You know,
It's like a CD.
and some of it doesn't now because it's fucking kits. They print it. It's printed. You know what I mean? It's computer.
Now has both sides though.
Right.
Like I have a this is gonna sound really weird because it's not rock, but I have like a old NWA album vinyl that when you play it on the record player, you can flip it over and it has a whole nother 9 songs on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was with us. We always had a side 1 and a side 2. So you had to, back then you had to, not that I've ever fucking made an album, but back then you had to figure out what songs you wanted on each side because the timing had to work out right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you could have 5 long songs on one side or 7 short songs on the other side or whatever.
Yeah.
You know? But what I was going to say was I bought Rat from the record store the day it came out out of the basement. And of course I learned, and of course they had the videos then. So I learned the first one. But when they came out with the next album, they came out with Lay It Down, which was a little more advanced riff. And also they had either drop D'd it or tune their guitars down or something. And to do that Lay It Down riff, you had to stretch your hand out to get that fucking second real tense chord. Down, 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 down. You know what I mean? Of course, we had to figure out our own fingerings back then. Yeah. But, you know, I learned all that shit when it came out. And, like, I bought Def Leppard On Through the Night, the album. Never heard of them, but I saw a guitar on the back of a semi-truck on the cover, and so I bought the album. Right? And the drummer was 15, dude. And Joe Elliott was 18. Right? And then I bought Night Ranger just because I flipped it over and I saw Brad Gillis on the back of it. And Brad Gillis had played for Ozzy on Speak of the Devil when Randy Rhoads died. So everybody knew his name. You know what I mean? And that was just the way. And then Quiet Riot. Because I knew that Randy Rhoads, I knew that was his band. So it was just like Snatch, you know? Yeah, so much good stuff from back then. It's a forgotten era, you know? I'm stuck up here. I'm always telling everyone that grunge, like we used to always say, oh, these glam bands are always singing about girls. There's no depth to their music. They just party, la, la, la. But then grunge came along and it was just like, oh, let's go shoot up. You know, and it's like 20 years worth of fucking dead dudes, or 20 years worth of motherfuckers that were worth more dead than alive because they signed a record deal and then wrote some okay songs. But look, you know what I mean? It's just like, it's the fucking saddest story in music history is grunge, really. You know, it's like, save us, you know? Metal just got cast aside.
Yeah, I'm hoping that when we reverse the music that we're playing these days, like back to the old days, that we can just skip over grunge.
That'd be great, right?
Well, and the thing about it is I like lead guitar. I'm a lead guitarist. As far as I'm concerned, a song is just a setup for the guitar solo. You know what I mean? That's what, I write songs You know what I mean? The lyrics, the melody, the chord progression. It's just a setup for the fucking guitar solo. If you don't understand that, get the fuck out. But what happens is they replaced all the guitar solos with rappers. Got that 8 bars, right? And then in grunge, they had guitar solos, but they soaked them down in the mix solo. I mean, Mike McCready and all those dudes are fucking sick guitar players, dude. But they just, they didn't put it in front. They didn't make it the center of the music. It was just a big mistake, I thought. These guys didn't sing that good.
That reminds me of like the Smells Like Teen Spirit solo, where it's basically the solo is the same thing as the whole song. Like it's not really a solo.
Right.
Like, I don't know. It's I don't know. Nirvana is okay.
That makes me feel so good.
Fancy fucking Kennedy live. Why do I always say that? I'm live, you're live, and these people, they are definitely live, and they are about to play live right here on the Garage Bays Revisited, where we take, your girlfriend is so cute. You remind me of that chick from the alien from that one movie where they I'll think of the name of it. I don't have any brains left. But yeah. Tim Tool Time Tim, right? And Galaxy Quest. Galaxy Quest. I keep thinking that she's the girl from Galaxy Quest. And I'm like, oh, this is a girl from Galaxy Quest. I love that look. I'm gonna do my hair like hers. Next.
That'd be great.
Fancy Kennedy here live with Innocence Torn. And they're about to pop the cherry on the first or second Zoom Garage Bays Revisited, where we go in their garage bay and we visit them. Dude, they're going to play music for us. And it's going to be fucking sickening.
This is Innocence
And I totally appreciate you guys doing this. I'm fucking really excited to see the video. And, say hi to all your fans, and then we're going to cut to the video.
Hi, fans.
Sometimes running through Sister the Price.
No, I gotta check.
Yeah, same.
Why do we lack communication?
I don't care. I think your phone stopped recording.
What?
I think
No, it's still going.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, that's a ghost symbol. Price?
The price, I guess.
All right, here we go.
Broken?
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Always come place, I'll do it to go away.
want to do? Violent communication?
Do what it is.
Okay.
That was like 6 in a row.
I think we should do live communication calling on that.
I agree.
Okay.
Does that sound right?
Really close. Sounds 80.
Oh my god! Oh my god! These fucking guys just Blew my fucking mind. Bitch, you're fucking scary. You scared me just now. I'm kidding. But no, dude, it was beautiful. It was lovely. And you guys are fucking the loveliest fucking group of people this side of Beaverton.
Hey, you got a new fan here, Joe. Oh, yeah,
Fucking A, dude. I'm gonna put this out and press this, and it's gonna be beautiful. Thank you so much for being on Thrashcast.com. Garage Bays Revisited.